We have all the way from the Ministry of Health. We have from the Ministry of Health, Dr. Rashid Mohammed Oyeniyi. Please, sir, we want you at the high table. A round of applause for him. Dr. Rashid. Let's keep clapping our hands till he gets here. Thank you very much. Kwara State has 10 Rotary clubs in Kwara State. We have some of our magic presidents in the house. I will start from the Grandfathers Club. Rotarian Abiodun Baraje, that's the presiding president for Rotary Club of Ilorin. Rotarian Baraje, please join us at the high table. Thank you very much. Also, we have the magic president for Rotary Club of Ilorin New Dawn in person of Rotarian Olatayo Taiwo. Thank you very much. We also have in the house the magic president for Rotary Club of Ilorin Sunrise in person of Rotarian Omolola Dari. She's also the president for Kwara State. Please, let's appreciate her. Keep clapping. We have other Rotarians in the house. When I call them, I just want you to appreciate them. We have our father in the house, Rotarian Olaiwola Shogunle. We call him Sho. Please, let's appreciate him. He's a very young man. He's also a youth like us. We also have in the house Rotarian Adeniji from the Rotary Club of Ilorin GRA. Please, let's appreciate her. Thank you very much. We also have in the house Rotarian Adiola Dosumu from Rotary Club of Ilorin Sunrise. Please, let's appreciate her. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will keep recognizing our Rotarians as they come on board. Thank you very much. We move to the next agenda, which is the national anthem. So I would request that we all be on our feet to sing the new national anthem. Stanza 1, 2, and 3. We are youths now. Harmony, please be on your feet. DJ.
To the Nigerian national anthem, Mr. Albert Congo raises the flag of the new nation. Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Let's be seated. I'd like to appreciate some other Rotarians in the house, the members of the local organizing committee. I would like to appreciate our DLS, the district learning officer, facilitator, the district learning facilitator in person of Rotarian Dolu Oyeyiola. Please, let's appreciate him. Also, I'd like to appreciate Rotarian Yetunde Fatoyinbo, the head of the medicals. Please, let's appreciate her. I'd like to appreciate Rotarian Vera David Zural, the head of registration and accommodation. Please, let's appreciate her. I'd like to appreciate Rotarian Apata, all the way from Ibadan. Let's appreciate her. I'd like to appreciate Rotarian Akinpelu, all the way from Ibadan. Let's appreciate her. I'd like to appreciate myself, Rotarian Antonia, all the way from Glory. I'd like to appreciate Rotarian Folake Oladeinde, all the way from Ibadan. Let's appreciate her. Oh, yes. Rotarian Folake, she's the district Rotaract chair. Please, let's appreciate her. And my Rotarian, please join us at the high table, ma'am. Thank you very much. Let's keep clapping till she gets here. If she's not seated, you don't stop clapping. She's Mama Youth. If she's not seated, you don't stop clapping. Keep clapping. At least you can see that she's a youth. Thank you very much. I also like to appreciate Rotarian DJ Waki. Please, let's appreciate him. That's the man behind the sound. I also like to appreciate Rotarian Mustafa Ayodeji. Thank you very much. Briefly, I'd like to invite for the welcome address the Ryla chair, the district chair, in person of Rotarian and Austin, for a welcome address. Please, let's appreciate her. Keep clapping till she gets here. If you are not clapping, she will not talk. Clap. Clap. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, our coordinator. I want to quickly give my welcome address. The distinguished district governor, district governor nominee, house owner, everybody on the ITEGU, distinguished guests, esteemed Rotarians, and all dear Rylians. Rylians, it is with a great pleasure and immense honor that I welcome you all to this maiden Rotary Youth Leadership Academy event here in the vibrant city of Harmony, the city of Ilorin, Kwara State. Today marks a significant step in our shared journey of empowering future leaders and fostering a spirit of service above self. Ryla is more than just a program. It's a transformative experience designed to unlock the potential within each one of us. Whether you are here to develop your leadership skills, whether you are here to network with like-minded individuals or contribute to our communities, know that here in Harmony Ryla, you are in the right place. This event is a testament to the power of collective efforts and the enduring legacy of Rotary commitment to youth empowerment. Over the next few days, you'll be engaged in a series of workshops, interactive sections, and activities that will challenge you, inspire you, and equip you with the tools you need to make a positive impact. Our esteemed speakers and facilitators have been carefully selected to provide you with insights and knowledge that will enrich your leadership journey. Inori, known for its rich culture and heritage and warm hospitality, and I'm sure you are feeling it already, is the perfect background for this gathering of dynamic and aspiring leaders. To our dear participants, you are the future. Your passion, creativity, and dedication are what will drive change and innovation in our communities and beyond. Embrace this opportunity with open hearts and minds, and let the spirit of Ryla ignite a lifelong commitment to leadership and service. To all our sponsors, to all Rotarians, to all local organizing committee, to Central Planning Committee, to all organizers, I personally extend my heartfelt gratitude, your unwavering support and dedication that have made this event possible, and your contribution will have a lasting impact on the lives of our future leaders. I invite us all to be engaged in this unique experience, to forge new friendship, and to live here inspired, empowered, and together we can build a better world. Together we can create a magic of Rotary. Thank you and welcome to Harmony Ryla 2024. Once again, my name is Ann Austin, the District Ryla Chair 2024. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my district chair. I don't think that is enough for her. Please give her a round of applause. Appreciate her. Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome Rotarian Tracy. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Yes, the next is our district governor's address. I'd like to invite our district governor, Rotarian Kayode Olowolagba, for his welcome address. Please, let's appreciate him. That's the #1 man in the district. Clap. Clap. He can close the Ryla today. Oh. You don't know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our MC. Ryla, we haven't you eating? Ryla, we my district governor nominee, the district chair, LOC chair, our keynote speaker, house owner, fellow Rotarians and resource person, DRRE, in fellow Rotarians, Ryla participants. I welcome you all to this campaign program of Rotary International, purposely put up for our youth to prepare them for future leadership, to groom them, to encourage them to become good leaders in future. We have carefully put up series of programs ranging from regimental training to classroom training to vocational training. You'll be out for a whole week. You undergo a series of training. The theme of our Rotary International President this Rotary year is the magic of Rotary. We have therefore carefully selected a theme in line with the theme of Rotary International for the purpose of this Ryla. And the theme is unleashing the magic of Rotary through youth development. We are conscious of the fact that you have a pivotal role to play in helping our community to grow, in helping our community and our nation to bridge the need gap between what the government can provide vis-a-vis the need of the poor masses of the community. It is our responsibility that we have taken upon ourselves as Rotarians to ensure that we try to bridge the gap It's in the government can provide and what the community needs, such that there will be something looking like equitable distribution of resources. We know that government alone cannot provide everything the community wants and need, but we come once in a while to try to alleviate the suffering of the poor masses in our community. The reason we have brought you together is to prepare you for future role in this endeavor that we have taken upon ourselves. We are aware that all the wars we have fought globally have been as a result of perceived marginalization. Some people have felt that they have not got their fair share in the system, that they have been schemed out in this scheme of things in their community, and they therefore wage war against their leaders. We now feel that from your youth, if you have observed closely, you will see that there are still a lot of people who are not as privileged as you are, who do not have the opportunity you are having today, who, if they have this kind of opportunity, will do better than even some of us. And as such, they should not be left behind in the scheme of things in our nation, in our country, in our community. So we are being requested to also have feelings for the poor in our community, for the poor among our friends, for the poor among our peers, so that they will also have a feeling that they have good living standard or good living condition. So we are imploring you, while you are here, try to make more friends, get more friends and get their contacts. A lot of friends you make or you have here during this program will be helpful, will come handy later in future. Don't let the friendship you have cultivated during this training, don't let it end here. Let it also go round. Let it also extend till after this program and even towards the end or during our lifetime. Because anytime, any moment, you will still come across each other and you will have one of you people mentioning your name to the right person at the right time, to the right people. And that is one thing that keeps the wheel of life going. You have people mentioning your name, recommending you, and the way you comport yourself here today and during this program matters a lot. It will make some people have likeness for you. It will make some people have some kind of reservation for you that no, I wouldn't want to associate myself with this kind of people. Be that as it may, I enjoy us to open our mind, open our eyes, and enjoy ourselves and see one or two things that we can take home from what we are experiencing or what we are being taught here. I thank you all for coming, and I wish you a very pleasant stay here in camp. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my DG. The Mano will have a presentation for us in 3 minutes. Mano. While they are coming on stage, I would like to recognize the camp commandant in person of Rotarian Dr. Abdul. Please, let's appreciate him. Also, I would like to recognize Rotarian Babalola Afis from Rotary Club of Ilorin. Let's appreciate him. Manowo, you have just 3 minutes. Thirty seconds gone. 45 seconds gone. Are you ready? 1 minute gone. One minute, 15 seconds gone. Thank you.
we. Ryla's we. We oh, are we motivated? Good morning this afternoon. Standing on the already established protocol. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. From the high table, sir, we say good morning. God bless you, sir. These are the set of selected Rylarians. We call them special squad. This afternoon, they want to present what we call tug of war. When we say tug of war, it doesn't mean we want them to fight. But philosophy behind the tug of war is this: to prepare them and sharpen their mental ability ahead of the activities. That is number one. Number two, during the course of this, we want to send a particular message. What are the messages? Number one, perseverance, ability to endure within one another. At times, you may feel like withdrawing, you may feel like tired, you may feel that I don't want to do again. But when you are courageous, you can be able to achieve a certain goals. Then another thing is this: ability to work together as a team. During the course of pruning, you can discover some people will feel among, while others may not feel among. Reason is this: we have power more than others. Now, for the sake of time, we go by the instruction. The first instruction say bend. When you hear bend, you bend. When you hear carry, you carry. Then the blowing of the whistle is telling you to start. While the second blowing of the whistle is telling you that the winners has emerged. Are we ready? Are we ready? Bend. Carry. Wait, I can see the ladies are not gentle. Take it easy, please. Let's go. Pull. During the course of pulling. Yes, yes. Yes, the ladies are winning. The game is a game of 3, best of 2. This is 1-0 now. That's why we are rushing. Okay. Sorry, ma'am. There is an adage that says, what a man can do. What a man can do. No, another man can do it better. Not a woman can do it better. Let's see. This is 1-0. Winning goes to the ladies. I want to believe the game is going to change to our men now. Are we ready? Bend. Carry. Go. Go. Let's go. This time around, we want to see the winner. Well done. Well done.
Welcome, welcome, how do you do? Welcome, welcome, how do you do? Happy to see you, happy to meet you. Welcome, welcome, how do you do? Happy to see you today. Welcome, welcome, how do you do? Welcome, welcome, how do you do? Happy to see you, happy to see. Welcome, how do you? We say welcome, we say welcome. say welcome. Jamanica. We say welcome.
We shall see another day.
All those ladies, I have special gift for them.
Thank you very much for all the ladies that participated. ATM Alabama said he has special gifts for you. Thank you very much. Let's be seated. Hey. The men. Don't let me say anything now. Thank you. Let's be seated. Let's appreciate ourselves. Let us appreciate ourselves. The next on our agenda is our keynote speaker address, and our keynote speaker is Professor Jalil Olasukomi Ojuade, and is ably represented by Professor Robert Udin. I'd like to request that Professor Robert be on his feet while I read the citation of Professor Jalil Ojuade. Please, let's appreciate him. Jalil Olasukomi Ojuade is a professor of performance and cultural studies with particular emphasis in dance studies and practice. He holds a PhD in performance studies dance from the Institute of African Studies, University of Ibadan, Nigeria. His other qualifications include LLB Honors in Common Law and LLM with emphasis in copyright laws from the University of Ilorin, Nigeria. He was called into the Nigerian bar in 2009. Additionally, he has Masters in Business Administration from the University of Ilorin, Nigeria. Is into active practice, propagation, and sustenance of Nigerian dance culture. Jalil started his dance career with his father's troupe, Ojuade, and his dance group at a tender age of 4 in the early 1970s, where he featured in local, state, national, and international performances and competitions. A culture that he has been able to sustain for over 4 decades. He belongs to a number of national and international organizations. He was a member, the youngest of the Nigerian troupe, the National Theatre of Nigeria, that represented Nigeria in the 12 Commonwealth Games and Warana Festival in Brisbane, Australia in 1982, and in a performance tour of the Federal Republic of South Korea in 1983. He participated in the International Summer School at the Department of Theatre Studies, Johannes Gutenberg University, Germany, 2007. He was a guest lecturer at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Cambridge, 2010. The Walter Rodney Lecture Series at the Boston University, Boston, 2010. And the African and African American Department, Harvard University, Cambridge, 2012, where he delivered a lecture on music and dance in Africa. He has attended and presented academic papers at local, national, and international conferences, where his works have been published with particular emphasis on Yoruba, Bata, and Dundu. He was the president, Association of Dance Scholars and Practitioner of Nigeria. He was an assistant director at the Center for International Education and director, Advancement Center, University of Ilorin, Nigeria. He has also facilitated partnership, collaborations, and relationships between individuals, organizations, and countries with the University of Ilorin, Nigeria. Professor Jalil Ojuade teaches dance and theater-related courses at the Performing Arts Department, Faculty of Art, University of Ilorin. He was until his appointment as Vice Chancellor of Jaja University, formerly Crown Hill University, on sabbatical at the Department of Performing Arts and Film Production, Faculty of Humanities, Management and Social Sciences, Kwara State University, Molete, Ilorin, Kwara State, where he was the Director Advancement as the Head Performing Arts and Film Department. My dear youth, please, with standing ovation, help me appreciate and welcome our guest speaker. Thank you.
Distinguished Rotarians, esteemed colleagues, vibrant youths and all gathered here today, I stand before you with deep gratitude and humility as we delve into a topic of immense importance, taking control of the future today. It is a subject that resonates with each one of us as we navigate an era marked by unprecedented change, challenges, and opportunities. The Rotarian Youth Leadership Academy, Ryla, represents the heart of leadership development for young minds, and I'm proudly honored to be a part of this transformative gathering. Rotary International, with its global footprints and prominent commitment to humanitarian service, stands as a beacon of hope and progress, a proof to what can be achieved when individuals unite with a common purpose. Understanding the future, a construct of today. The concept of the future is often perceived as an elusive, distant reality, yet it is anything but that. The future is not a destination we arrive at by mere chance. It is a construct of the decisions, actions, and attitudes we adopt today. This understanding calls for a paradigm shift in how we approach our lives, our careers, and our contributions to society. In the context of the rapidly evolving world we live in, the future is a dynamic entity. The advent of technology, shifts in global economies, the rise of industries, and the increasing awareness of social and environmental responsibilities are redefining what the future holds. Thus, to take control of this future, we must first understand that it is shaped by the sum of our efforts in the present. The role of youths, who are architects of tomorrow's world. You, the youths, are the architects of tomorrow's world. This responsibility is both a challenge and a privilege. Your generation is poised to make a profound impact, equipped with resources and opportunities that were unimaginable to those before you. The digital age has provided you with tools that can amplify your voice, expand your influence, and accelerate your growth. However, with great power comes great responsibility. As you embark on your journey to shape the future, it is imperative to recognize that this journey requires more than just ambition. It requires vision, dedication, and a great commitment to the greater good. The future is not something to be feared or awaited with uncertainty. It is to be seized with the boldness of innovation and the courage of conviction. Education, the bedrock of empowerment. At the core of taking control of the future lies education. An education that transcends traditional boundaries and equips you with the skill and knowledge necessary to thrive in an increasingly complex world. Education is not merely about the acquisition of facts, it's about fostering critical thinking, creativity, and the ability to apply knowledge in real-world scenarios. Hence, in today's world, education must be lifelong. The pace of change demands that we continually update our skills, expand our knowledge base, and remain adaptable to new challenges. The future belongs to those who are not only knowledgeable, but also capable of integrating that knowledge.
Thank you very much. Ryla's view. I saw that we are a little bit distracted. House captains, please. We will
the same ethnicity with you. How do you deal with such a situation, sir?
Okay, so my question is just close to what he just asked, but my own has to do with when you mentioned collaborating and building strong network. You know, one of the dangers of collaborating with people is the dangers. Somebody that you are partnering can just wake up one day and say he's not doing again. You know, so at that kind of instance, what should somebody do before he goes into collaborating with somebody? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. My question is, you talk about collaborating according to what you said and innovations. There are many ideas that we have people that have innovations, but to interpret it, how do we identify the correct innovation to be applied to the situation? Maybe in a community when we find ourselves, for instance now, this is Nigeria. There are many things that are needed to be, there are many innovations, and we are in school environments. If you get to the school environment, we have so many projects that they procure solutions to our communities, and they are not, let me say, they are not put into order or into use. So how do we encourage others that are coming? Because people are growing idea every day, and they know if they do this, they will just submit it to one place. And what do you want to say? How do we encourage them so that not to be a discouragement for other people? Thank you, sir.
My question is just almost the same as his own. In a situation whereby you have different solutions to a particular problem, and is there a way like you can just try to identify the way you are going to put it down, so the rest, it will not cause like a conflict between you and the others?
Thank you for the privilege. My question goes thus. I've been talking about connecting the dots and the likes. But as an individual, I don't have what to offer. Why do I need to connect with you when I don't have something to offer you? That's my question.
Thank you very much.
Please permit me to sit while addressing your questions. Thank you for those questions. They are very germane, and I'll try my best to address them. I would like to start from the last question. Why do I connect when I don't have anything to offer? The truth is, if you ask yourself, the chances are high that you say you have nothing to offer, because a lot of us have not really found our purpose in life yet. Some of us are still searching, some of us have found it early, some of us are still on the process of discovery. But the difference is this: for a man who knows he has a purpose, for a man who has a vision and believes that where he's standing today is not where he's meant to be tomorrow, knows that he has to move, he has to do something to get to where he believes he should be. Now, if you do not have something to contribute, you have people you look up to, who you believe in, and you know that I will not mind being this person tomorrow. Why don't you connect to such people? Learn from them. Because the bottom line is, we don't know everything. That's why we learn. education, like I said in the lecture, is not necessarily a formal thing. It's both formal and informal. Formal, you come to a classroom. Informal, you learn from people around you. You assimilate good things and use it to make yourself a better person. By so doing, in your first connect, when you have nothing to offer, you will learn from that interaction. And by the time you are connecting the next time, you will see you have something to offer. And it might actually be a trigger, a catalyst to what is hidden within you. And before you know it, you are bigger than who you ever thought you will be. I hope I have answered that question. The next one, the first question is, allow me, I paraphrase them, is being ethical in the face of challenges okay or a foolish thing to do? Let's look at Nigeria now. Unfortunately, the new normal is people doing the bad things are seen as the good people, while people doing the good things are seen as not good people. And the truth is, that's why we are where we are as a country. You have to learn to do what is right. The keynote speaker was invited here for this speech, and the time for the program was 9 o'clock. I came 8:27. Why did I do that? There's nothing like African time. There's nothing like Nigerian time. 9 o'clock, which is 09 hours, is 9 o'clock anywhere in the world. There's no 9 o'clock Nigerian time. So what I'm trying to say is, irrespective of what people say, irrespective of what people do, the right thing is always the right thing, and it is always the best thing to do. All of you want to japa. Why do you want to japa? You want to go to a society where things work, where people do the right thing. Why don't you do it in your own society? Why don't you start it? In Japan, a 4-year-old child goes to school unaided because the whole community looks after that child. Why don't we imbibe such attributes and make our society a better and greater society? So to the man who asked the question, forget what people will say, because as long as you listen to what people will say, you will miss your focus. You won't stay on course. Do what is right. And I can assure you, it might look stupid, but eventually you will get to where you're going. The next question, how does being innovative understand? The challenges of being innovative in a stressful economy like ours. Let me put it this way. There is, using your words, everybody is saying shaggy. There is nobody who is not going to one challenge or the other. Either regular going to work, either at your home because money is difficult to meet what you have to do, everywhere. Now, being innovative worsens it, because when you are being innovative, you are challenging the status quo. Like those who said the world was not flat, it was round. They paid dearly for it, but eventually they were proved right. So, being innovative, you are going to meet resistance every step of the way. You are going to have challenges either from your friends, from authorities, anywhere, everywhere. But the thing is, you have to believe in yourself and in the power of your innovation. I would like to ask a question. How many of you watched that movie, Acrimony? You watch. For those who watched it, that I'm extracting the aspect of the guy and his innovation, his battery. He believed in that innovation. It cost him his relationship, it cost him his marriage, it cost him a lot of things. But he believed and he persevered. And at the end of the day, he was rewarded. So yes, it's going to be rough. If I tell you it's not going to be rough, I'm lying to you. It's going to be rough. But so long as you know the power of your innovation. As long as you believe in that innovation, I will advise you to hold on to it. If you look at breakthroughs in science and technologies today, it had to do with the scientists believing in what they discovered. And for those who didn't believe, for example, Nokia did not believe in the future. That's why they are nowhere today. When they showed them the iPhone in, was it 1982 or so, because Nokia was in charge of telecoms, they did not buy into it, and they're out of the industry, so to speak. So believe, very important. It's going to be tested, but believe. And whatever comes your way, persevere, and you will overcome. How do you deal with ethnic and tribal challenges in a diverse culture? That question is very, very interesting, because I'm not a politician. I won't go into politics, but if you and I will tell ourselves the truth, when politics comes, that's when our politicians know you are a Muslim, you are a Christian, you are Igbo, you are Yoruba, you are Hausa. But all of us here today, we're having a wonderful time. We come from different areas, different religions, different ethnicities. But we are together, united in the Ryla belief. And I'm sure at the end of today, you will remember this program for years to come. Ethnicity didn't play a role. Religion did not play a role. What played a role was a common belief, a common mindset, a common goal. So I will say that let's throw away this bitterness of you are from here, you are not from here. People are always going to use it to try and divide you. But so long as you stand united in your common belief, you are going to achieve it. It's not going to be easy, but you will. But if you decide to listen to he's a Christian, he's a Muslim, he's a Hausa, he's a Yoruba, I can assure you, you'll be defeated before you even start on your journey. Now, how do you handle toxic collaborations? There are different ways. There's no one fixed way, because toxic collaborations exist everywhere. Between siblings, between workers in a workplace, between friends, in relationships, it is everywhere. How do you handle it is dependent on the specific issues. But the bottom line is toxicity in any form, it's not a good thing. So I will advise you to go away from toxic collaborations. Now, how do you identify a toxic collaboration? Allow me to speak from my background. I'm a scientist. Now, if I want to collaborate with a scientist, first and foremost, it has to be somebody in my area of interest. Secondly, I must have researched the person, and I know the person is of good standing, both integrity-wise, a sound mind. And I could go further by finding out if friends and peers can speak to that person. It is on the basis of the information I gather that will inform if I should go into a collaboration with such a person. For starters, we have questionable scientists, some who are interested in money. We have some who falsify information and the likes. So if you do not do your research properly, you might be in cahoots with such people, and I can assure you it's not something you want, because it's going to tarnish your integrity, it's going to tarnish your name, which you have spent the better part of your life building. So to prevent toxic relations, do beautiful background checks, very beautiful ones. Now, that does not mean you could not make mistakes, but it will help reduce drastically the chances of a toxic collaboration. And in the event that you find yourself in one, immediately you identify it, try and extricate yourself as quickly as you can to minimize the damage. How do you encourage people when people who had come before them had nothing to show for it? It's like saying, why do good when good people are suffering? I should do bad. I know it's challenging, I know it's frustrating. Believe me, I've been there. I'm still there because let me give you a case in point. When I was a student, 100 level, I think it's Chem 104. I knew they were selling live questions. I knew who was selling the live questions, but I did not partake. So in the exam hall, my friends who purchased the live questions had answered the questions in their hostel and brought the booklets into the exam hall. So while we were cracking our heads and solving the questions, they were bringing out answered booklets and placing on their tables. So you can imagine that feeling. You're struggling so that you don't fail, and you see your friend who is bringing out already answered booklets, perfectly answered because they answered it in their hostel. It is frustrating, I can assure you. But that did not mean, or that does not mean, you will do what is wrong. How is it? There are some of you that the way God has written your life, if you fumble, or if you attempt to fumble, you are punished instantly. And there are some people, they will go as far as possible, they don't get caught. It doesn't mean it is right, they'll get caught eventually. So, whatever the case may be, whatever the challenges may be, I will advise, strongly advise, do what is right. Now, when you do what is right, that's harmony, right? When harmony does what is right, you're going to have a ripple effect. It will come into part of Living Spring. If Living Spring does what is right, you have a ripple effect. It will go into Paysetter, and so on and so forth. That's a positive thing. If you have a negative thing, you're also going to have a ripple effect. But the problem with a ripple effect from a negative thing is that it destroys everything. Whereas a positive thing, it builds, but it's a gradual process, a very gradual process. You and I are complaining today. And why? Because some people in the early days of this nation did what was wrong. Today, you and I are paying dearly for it. I'm sure if you had the power, you will make sure that they didn't do what was wrong in the early days. That means do what is right. Even if people before you had nothing to show for it, keep doing what is right. Eventually, it's going to speak. It might not be in your time, sorry to say, because some of us are praying Nigeria will get better. We're not sure if it will be in our time, but we pray strongly to get better. It might not be in your time, but it does not mean you should do what is wrong. Keep doing what is right. By so doing, you are growing a seed, and that seed is going to germinate, it's going to blossom, and it's going to reproduce. But if you do what is wrong, it's going to die, and before you know it, everything is dead, and nothing thrives where there is death. So keep doing what is right, irrespective of how challenging everything appears to be. For the lady who says, how do you address conflicts when providing solutions? Actually, there are a lot of solutions to a problem, but there is a best solution to a problem. Or there is a modification of solutions to a problem. Sometimes there's one single way, sometimes there are multiple ways to solve a problem. Case in point, COVID. If you remember, when COVID came, we had several types of vaccines. Some were one, some you had to combine them to help solve the COVID issue. So also, when you have some challenges, for example, from a health perspective, we now have, what do they call it? Antibiotic resistant bacteria. So instead of being given one particular antibiotic, you're given a combination of antibiotics to solve it. So yes, such challenges will arise, but you have to find out what is best to solve it. Yours might not be the best solution. It might be a component of the solution. It doesn't make it any less good. It is solving the issue. The greater good should be our goal. So whatever it is you do, don't let self guide you. Let the greater good guide you. And so long as the greater good guides you, it means that you know, and when they say do not do this, you wouldn't, because you know it's going to cause harm for most of you here. But if you are selfish, you will do it because I'll get away with it. But by so doing, you're creating a problem. So when conflicts arise, when issues arise, and you believe your solution is the best, but you profile it and you're told it's not so good, don't take it bad. Learn from the ones that are better than yours. And in so doing, you make yourself a better person to offer better solutions in future challenges. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. While he was answering our questions, the NDLA for Kwara State, in person of Ajia Fatima Kpukpola, came. Let's appreciate it. You're welcome, ma. And the NDLA team. I'd like to invite the LOC District Chair Ryla and the LOC chairperson to make a presentation to Professor Robert Udin. DLS, please, you can join them. Our major donor, Rotary, Alaba Quadri, you can also join them. Thank you, sir. Professor, sir.
Distinguished personalities, Rylans, on behalf of Rotary D9126 and on behalf of Harmony Ryla 2024, we present this forward test flag to Professor Jelil Olasukanmi Ojuade, and we appreciate his time. And like he said in his speech, he told us to do the right thing, even though the world is telling us to do the negative. Truly, he was here before majority of us. As I met him here, 8:30. No, you were here before me. I met you here. And that is a great one. Thank you once again, sir. We really appreciate you. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Like I said, while the professor was addressing our questions, Ajia Fatima Popola and our team from NDLEA, the Kwara State Command, she is the commander for Kwara State. So they are coming up next, and Our next program is Drug Abuse Awareness by the NDLEA. Please, let's appreciate her. She's the Kwara State Commander, NDLEA. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. You must not stop. Keep clapping. Let us appreciate her. Keep clapping. Youths, clap, clap. We will do test for all of you today. Hey, clap. Keep clapping. Are you tired? Are you tired? Harmony, clap. Living Spring, clap. Setas, clap. ATM, clap. Thank you.
Why are you stressing them now? So, members of the I table, I don't know. I came in late, I'm sorry. So I don't know how to address each person. I'm supposed to have asked of the protocol. But good morning, everyone. For my greatest young people, good morning, all. I love the colors. When I came in, I saw colors. I'm so happy. I said, this is a very colorful program. And when she said, she will be testing you, I said, why are you threatening them with test? The test is a normal test. It's not a big deal. Nobody is holding a test against anyone. And the test is voluntary. You understand? No one is forcing anyone to take the test. It's voluntary. So you just take it playfully and you get your certificate. You can show it to anyone. I remember about 5, 6, 7 years ago, some people doing HIV/AIDS tests came to my office, and that this is free HIV/AIDS test. And we were all very afraid. Oh my God, HIV test. Even if I thought of all the reasons that could make anyone get HIV, I know that I cannot have it. But what if there is a mistake somewhere? God help me. So at the end of the day, I took the test, and they gave me a certificate. I put the certificate at the back of my seat. I went and made it so big, so that everybody will see it. So it's the same thing with this. If you are able to do the test, if I were you, I would just paste it somewhere where everyone will see it. So once again, good morning. Good morning. I'm sure most of us knows what NDLA is. I hate staying behind. I like to go to my audience. I like to be close to the people I'm talking to, so that you don't see me as that woman there. But if we are closer, we will be able to interact. Am I right? Yes. So today we are going to be talking about drug abuse. And I decided not to make any big deal. I don't want to make a big slide and be showing us so that you will not. I want us to discuss about it. So I'm sure most of you have heard of NDLA before, right? So what is NDLA? I don't want to chorus answer. Yes. What's NDLA? Yes, she said National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Clap for her. So who can tell me the functions? One function of NDLA. One each. Yes. One function of NDLA. Said to regulate the use of drugs. I'm sure the drug she's talking about is paracetamol, is antibiotics. Am I right? Am I right? No. Okay. We are coming to that. NDLA does not regulate the use of drugs. Regulation of the use of drugs is whose job? NAFDAC. Because what the drugs NDLA is dealing with are what kind of drugs? Marijuana, cocaine, heroin, all the hard and dangerous drugs. So how do you regulate such kind of drugs? How do you regulate the use of such drugs? You understand what I'm saying? So NDLA does not regulate. But another function, who can tell me? Yes. said eradication of the use of hard drugs. I can. That's good. Another one. Yes. Yes, I like that. He said raising awareness and enlightenment, and that is what we are doing. Yes. She said enforcement of drug laws. I like that too. Yes, another one. Yes. Of what? He said prevention of, the more it does what? The more it does what? Affects the brain. So let's talk about the effect of drugs. Now we have known the types of drugs. We know what NDLA is. We know what NDLA do. Now, what are the effects of these drugs that we have all mentioned? Who can tell? Effects of these drugs. Yes, sir. Okay, that it can cause addiction. Who can define addiction? What is addiction? I'm going to give the person the microphone because it's a serious business. What is addiction? You raise up your hands.
Addiction is when you don't have. Addiction is when you don't have controllable. What's it called? Sorry. Addiction is uncontrollable feeling to a substance or material or whatever it is. Thank you.
You see, in a layman language, she mentioned it. Somebody raised a hand up here. Yes.
Addiction means getting something, as you have said, like an uncontrollable feeling that is getting used to something.
That's good. Any other definition?
When you start getting dependent on the drug.
When somebody is dependent. That's good. Any other definition?
Something you are used to that you cannot do without.
Good. Dependent, yes. Yeah, I hear you. Somebody is obsessed with something. Okay. You all did well, and your answers are true. But please pick your pen now on paper. Find addiction. Have you picked up your pen? Good. Drug addiction. I'm a teacher, so make una no vex. You have to write something. And there must be a take home. You must be able to open your book and say, this is what I learned about drug abuse. So addiction, drug addiction, because we have food addiction, we have film addiction, we have internet, we have different kind of addiction. But now we're talking about drug addiction. So drug addiction is a chronic and relapsing brain disease. Drug and relapsing brain disease. A chronic and relapsing brain disease that is characterized by the compulsive use. Compulsive, like when something is compulsory, by the compulsive use of the substance even in the face of their consequences. There is DARE, their consequences. Even in the face of their consequences. So drug addiction is a chronic and relapsing brain disease that is characterized by the compulsive use of the drugs, even in the face of their consequences. Who can explain? By the compulsive drugs, even in the face of their consequences. In the face of their consequences. consequences.
In the face of their consequences, it means when you know the repercussions already, when you know the side effects, when you are aware of what is going to happen to you and you are still taking it.
This is very good. You guys are really very smart. I love to smart people because I will not have to stress myself to be explaining and explaining. You see, we all know that drugs have consequences. But when the consequences is there, when you know that this thing can lead to, you know that drug abuse, of illegal drugs and substances, but the person still continue to use. That means in the face of their consequences, the person does not care. You go say, now something they kill man. Have you heard that slang before? Say, now something they kill man, leave me. Something must kill a man. You know, that is in the face of their consequences. It's a typical example of that phrase, in the face of their consequences. I think that in pidgin, this is the meaning in pidgin. Something nine, they kill man. What do you call it? Something must kill a man. It's the same thing as saying in the face of their consequences. So that is the definition of drug addiction. Now, something that can kill, and young people are using it. The NDLA, United Nations survey of 2018, we have a drug survey in Nigeria, and that is the most cited research work in the whole world. The most cited. I don't know why Nigeria, a lot of people are interested in us. If you go online, people who have cited that document are almost the same thing as the population of the world. And what did that survey say? It says that 14.3 million people are using drugs in Nigeria. How many did I say? Write it down. 14.3 million people. As at 2018. As at when? 2018. 14.3 million people are using drugs in Nigeria. Hard drugs, yes. We are talking about hard drugs. 14.3 million people have used drugs in Nigeria. And also, the survey says 1 out of every 7 Nigerian is a drug user. 1 out of every 7 Nigerian is a drug user. And 1 out of every 4 drug user is a woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? 1 out of every 4 drug users. If we line up all those 14.3 people, 14.3 million, we line them up and we start to count 1, 2, 3. The 4th person is a woman. 1, 2, 3. The 4th person is a woman. Is that not dangerous? Is that not dangerous? Yes. So that is what that survey says. And that's why we should know that there is a fire on the mountain. There's fire on the mountain. All of us have to stand up. You see, drug prevention is the main matter now. And that is what we are telling all of us here. Because if we have 14.3 million people using drugs, out of about 200 million, is that our population? They said it's about 200 million, right? So if we have 14.3 million not using, that means we have about 85.7 million people. Is that not so? 185.7 people not using. Is that? So all these people, we should not allow them to start using drugs. The population of Nigeria comprises of over 70% of young people. Do you agree? We have more of young people. And you people are the people we call the vulnerable groups. What do we call the young people? Vulnerable. Why do we say you are vulnerable? Why? There are reasons why young people are called the vulnerable groups. Who can tell us? Yes. Why are young people vulnerable?
Because the youth are more prone to the use of illicit drugs due to either peer pressure or from trying to inculcate other things that they watch or see from other people.
Another Another one, why are young people vulnerable to drug use?
Because the youth are susceptible to experiment of drugs, experimental.
You see, young people are very impulsive. You understand? If I want to cross to that side now, and there is a big gutter, I'll be thinking, Kai, if you cross this gutter, so will I not fall? Is that not so? But as a young person coming from that place, as you reach here, you go just jump. Is that not so? So young people are very impulsive, and young people want to experiment. They want to experiment new things. They want to know what is inside radio. You know, young people, when we were growing up, when our parents say, I'm going out, so all of you should be indoors, we say, yes, ma. But if I tell you now that I'm going out, all of you should stay indoors, what are you people going to ask me? Why? Why should we stay indoors? I mean, I want to go out, so. You understand? Young people want to experiment. Then there is what we call peer pressure. When you see your friend, your colleague doing something, young people want to emulate. You want to do that same thing. Me, anything where you like, you do. I don't care. If I don't want it, I don't want it. But young people are attracted by what peers are doing, by what their friends are doing, their classmates are doing. That, you know, a lot of things like that. And that's why they are vulnerable. And the society is not helping matters. Unemployment rate, young people are very idle. There is boredom. Somebody who is impulsive, how can the person be bored? Young people love entertainment. They want to be active at all times. Anywhere there are young people, you will see music. Is that not so? Because you want to flex now. Is that not so? You want to enjoy, you want to have fun. So this among others are reasons why young people are very susceptible and they are very vulnerable. So we should care about you. As you are now, you are like eggs in our hands, and we should not allow you to break. Please clap for us. And clap for yourself more. And for you to agree to come for this program means that you value yourself. Because if you don't value yourself, you will not be here. There are a lot of young people on the streets. There are a lot of young people in their homes. There are a lot of young people in wherever. They are doing their thing. I say, I beg, I not get that kind of program. They will come and campus for many days. What are they doing there? But because you guys value yourself, that's why you are here. A lot of things are going on in the society. A lot of people are into drug trafficking, drug dealing, people that you cannot even imagine. A lot of young people are into drug use. A lot of young people are into a lot of criminalities. So we should be very aware of what we're doing. And that behind crimes, there is what? Drugs. So behind all crimes, there is drug. So we should be very, very careful. Today, the Rotary Club and their partners have brought to you drug testing. This drug testing is voluntary, it's free, and in collaboration with DLA, we are going to carry out this drug testing on you, and we will give you your certificate. And there are advantages of this drug test. If we find anything on you, if somebody has started laughing, just relax, relax and relax. I want to let you know that the next person will not know the result of your test. One. Secondly, if we found anything positive in your urine, because we are going to be using your urine. Yes, it's your urine that we'll be using. If we found anything positive, we are going to let you know. There are people we call second-degree smokers. Second-degree smokers are those ones who have smokers as friends, and they are there with them. They don't smoke. You know, some people have friends that drinks. They will be sitting with their friends, they will be drinking alcohol, but they will not drink. The same thing with smokers. So, but by the time you test all of them, his own will be more than their own. Because he's inhaling all their smokes. All the smokes that are puffed out of them, that person is inhaling it. So when you test all of them, it's also positive. And it's more dangerous because it's inhaling smokes from over 5, 6, 7 people. And that's why we call the person a second-degree smoker. So if we detect anything, we are going to let you know this is what we detect, and you need counseling. We are going to give you a note to go to any state you come from, because I learned that all of you are from different states. We'll give you a note to go to any NDLA office and continue counseling, because it's important for you to start counseling if you are positive, except if you want what you are doing, except if you love the drug that you are using. But if you don't like it, please, we will give you a note and you will go to any nearest NDLA in your state and continue counseling, and they will be very happy to counsel you and they will bring you back. So I have a lot to say, but I don't want to waste our time. But I want you to ask me questions, because I talk more when people ask questions and I forget. Okay. Somebody is already asking. Yeah.
Okay. I have a few friends I used to have a few friends that were addicted to smoking, and they were like, they can't stop, or they can't do without it, they can't eat without it, they can't all of that. Now there was one of them that tried to stop, and the process was very kind of hard. Like, he was always vomiting and all of that. So like, I wanted to know, is there any sort of like rehabilitation center in Nigeria that such people can go to if they want to stop?
Another question, please. Please take this round so that they can ask questions. Then I will be writing it so that I can answer all your questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma. Drugs generally can be any substance, according from our knowledge from school, and it can be even be our regular medicine, the paracetamol and the likes. I even heard some people are even being prescribed tramadol. But when we have a poorly prescribed drug, it turns to drug abuse. And over the years, Nigerians are like more they've like relied on paracetamol to cure headache. Meanwhile, it might not even be the headache that is actually wrong. So in that case, headache is also paracetamol is also an hard drug in that case, because it is releasing dopamine, and with the release of dopamine, addiction is setting in, and then it is causing harm to the body. So my question is, what measures is the NDLEA taking to like curb these actions? That's just my question.
Thank you, ma. In situations of routine drugs, when we are talking about tramadol, because tramadol is also a prescribed drug. So if tramadol is prescribed to a patient, and the patient already have a prescribed paper for tramadol, and the patient is abusing tramadol, is it the fault of the patient or the fault of the prescribed doctor? The second question is, in situation of cough syrups, because people now abuse cough syrups, and cough syrups is an over-counter drug where you can go there and get it anytime and anywhere. So what can we do to that?
Thank you very much, ma, for the speech and for the talk, ma. I wanted to ask a question as regards the young people's influence, or a factor I think that influences their use of drugs. And one of it is celebrities and musicians. There are many musicians and many celebrities that use drugs, like especially cannabis. So is there any strategy, or is there any way that we are trying to curb the evangelizing of drug use, especially amongst these celebrities who usually turn out to be effective or very strong people that pressure or that influence the habits of young people, ma? Thank you.
Thank you for the privilege. My question is this: I have a friend who is drug addicted. I always correct him to stop it. But often he always complain of boredom and the likes. Like, he always think a lot of times. But he often say he use drugs as a relief from himself. But I've been telling him to stop it, but he's not listening to me. What do you think we can do again to stop him from that?
Okay. I want to ask that what are the specific measures that NDLEA is taking to curb the roots of drug abuse? The roots are like unemployment, poverty, and all that. Is it that NDLEA focus on the intake of drugs, or they also focus on the roots of drug abuse? And I want to ask that how can we, the citizens, create a collaborative and a non-judgmental environment to addicts near us?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ma. So my question is for secondary user that you made mention of. Like we have people that smoke around you, like your neighbor. Is there any law that guides the secondary users? Like, is there any law like if somebody is smoking, like my neighbor, I want to spoil my life, I can go to NDA to come and arrest the person? Like, is there any law guiding secondary users? Thank you, Ma.
Ma, like when we are having a headache, we can use paracetamol. But when using overdose, that's called drug abuse. Ma, now, me, smoking Colorado this week, and next week, smoke it once, and after next week, smoking it again. Is that drug abuse too?
Thanks for the enlightenment, ma. I have two questions. About genetics disposition. Genetics disposition. Yeah, you know there are some individuals that genetically, all they need to do is to take things like cigarettes to induce their blood flow and the likes. So in that kind of situation, is that drug abuse? You know, at the long run, they will get addicted that without the smoke and the likes, they won't be comfortable. And two is about menstruation. During menstrual pain, some people have a chronic menstrual pain that actually leads them to take things like tramadol. So in that kind of instance, like is there, and you get addicted to without taking tramadol, you can't be okay. So is there anything they can do?
Thank you. Okay, so obviously, the knowledge of dire consequences of substance use among youths is not like discouraging them. What are other strategies that have been known or have been used or can be used to discourage youth and students from using substances or drugs generally?
Okay. Ma, my question is, you said earlier that the major production of drug comes from planting. So what are the measures in place in eradicating the drug farms in Nigeria? Like, is it by burning? Because if it is by burning, will the people in the environment, wouldn't they be high due to the burning of the drug farms?
Let me quickly respond. Members of the high table. Sorry, can I go on? Yes. Yes. So, all of you have wonderful questions. Can we all listen? You asked the question, so listen to the answers. Let me start from the last. She said, the production of drugs come from planting. That is true. Most drugs are from planting. Most drugs are plants. They are derived from plants. Even the ones that we use to cure ailments are derived from plants. Would anyone disagree with that? No. Even if we have chemicalized drugs that are called purely synthetic drugs, but most drugs are derived from the ones that are used to cure sicknesses. What are we going to do? What is it, or what can we do to eradicate this planting? Because we said we have to burn them. If we are burning, can it affect the environment? Yes. In fact, when NDLA seized a lot of drugs, cannabis, cocaine, marijuana, tramadol, codeine, all sorts of hard drugs, what do we do with them? We destroy them. So what do NDLA do? We will now write. If I want to do drug destruction in Kwara State, I'm going to write. First of all, I will get permission from the court. Remember that those drugs are seized from people, right? And when they are seized from people, these people have been taken to court. And the court have sentenced them to prison for selling drugs illegally in Nigeria. So I will still take another permission as the commander of NDLA in Kwara. I will take permission from the court that I want to destroy those drugs that have been seized, that the owners have been sent to prison, and the court will give permission. And the next thing, I'm going to call NDLA headquarters. I have so and so tons of drugs, and the court have permitted that we should destroy it. And NDLA headquarters will say, go ahead. I will now come back to Kwara State. I will write to the Kwara State government. I have so and so drugs to destroy. These drugs have been seized and the dealers have been sent to prison. And we don't want them to be recycled back into the society so that people will not use them again because they are very dangerous to health. So we want to destroy it. So the government will now give permission. And in my request to burn the drugs, I will also request the government that I need to go to inside one far forest to destroy it, where there are no human beings per se. So the government will give me, okay, go to so and so forest. I don't know much of Kwara. I'm just a month old in Kwara. Thank you. So Mona, clap for me now. I'm just a month old. So I don't know much places. So the Kwara State government will now say, okay, they will now think about it. They will now approve and said, we have approved that NDLA should burn their exhibit at so and so forest. Because the state knows their terrain more than I do, right? So NDLA will go there and burn it. But on the other hand, too, there are people who have not started planting. That lady in yellow, you are the lecturer. I know. So listen to me first. So another thing that NDLA is doing is that for people who have not started planting, what are we going to do for them? Or even those who have started planting, there is what we call alternative development. What do I call it? Alternative development. What did I say? Alternative development. Alternative development is a United Nations program of which Nigeria have keyed into also. In alternative development, we are encouraging the farmers. Somebody, if I'm planting Igbo now in the village, in the bush of Ondo or Delta, it's because I'm getting money from it, right? So the government want to encourage me not to plant Igbo again. They now said, okay, Ajia Fatima, we know that you are planting Igbo, and we have done everything to stop you. You refuse. You said it's because you don't have a job. Now the federal government is giving you a loan. We are giving you seedlings for whatever crops you want to This is another measure from the government and the United Nations to give the farmers alternative means of producing, of farming, rather than planting cannabis. So they will now say, okay, start planting cocoa. We need crops that can bring money to you instead of planting cannabis. So that is another measure. That's another way of stopping the planting of cannabis. So we call it the alternative development. You can Google it and read extensively what alternative development is. Somebody talk of genetic. There are various reasons people use drugs or people get addicted to drugs. Just like she said, you know, if you get to the doctor, if you complain of an ailment, you see the doctor will be asking you, has any of your family member had this before? Have you experienced that? Yes. Has any of your family member have this problem before? Oh yes. Somebody told me that my great grandfather died of stomach pain, something like that. That means there is a genetic disposition. It is likely that this your own stomach pain may be genetic, may have a genetic meaning. So the same thing when it comes to addiction. In some families, they may have some kind of problem when it comes to psychosis. You understand? They may have it, it may run in their family, but it may not happen to you. It's something that will trigger it. So if I'm smoking cannabis now, I'm smoking Igbo, and we are all friends, we are about 10, and I've been smoking Igbo for 2-3 years, and nothing is happening to me. Ma far away me, oh. Don't copy me, oh, because you don't know the kind of family you come from. So if it is a family of people who have some kind of underlying mental illness, it may not happen to you in your lifetime, but something will trigger it. The day the person smoke marijuana, it will trigger that thing. It will trigger it. And they will say, see this one, he has been drinking for 20 years, nothing is happening. But you just drink one tumbler and you are misbehaving. It can be because of genetics. That problem is already, if anyone has a genetic problem or a genetic sickness, that sickness is already in that all the children that are born in that family. But it may not happen to you if you did not trigger it. So if you're talking about drug abuse now or drug addiction, if people have underlying health problem, especially psychosis in their family, the day they start to use drugs, hard drugs, it will trigger it. That's why some people, I was in a conference last year, a woman said, cannabis is a very wonderful plant. I've been using it in the past 22 years. She's from South Africa. She did speak English and they look at her. I've been using this drug since 22 years, and you can see how hale and hearty I look. Yeah. I say, well done. But have you also seen those people who are using cannabis and have run mad? She said, yes. She said, yeah, it's not the cannabis that is making them run mad. I say, I agree with you, partially. They may have some genetic predisposition that may make that cannabis trigger that problem in their system. We are all wired differently. That's why you should not start. That's why you should not touch hard drugs, because you don't know what has happened before in your family. You don't know the way you are wired. You don't know how God created you, how fragile your brain is. You see some people in parties, they will be drinking a lot of bottles and bottles of beer and nothing happens to them. But somebody is just drinking only one tumbler and he will start to stagger and start talking nonsense. So we are different. She also mentioned taking tramadol for menstrual pain. Is that abuse? Yes. I know menstrual pain can be very, very serious, can be very painful. And most women will experience it. And it's just for 5 days. If you have menstrual pain, please go to the doctor. Complain and they will give you medication. We know tramadol is a very serious painkiller, but you can get addicted to it. I know of 2 girls. They are sickle cell patients, and one day one of them have attack, so they rushed the person to the hospital, and the nurse was shouting to the other person, give us so and so injection, give us so and so injection. And the girl say, so this is the name of that injection that they used to give us. And after they left hospital, they went to the pharmacy and they started buying that injection and they started injecting themselves. You know how sickle cell can be very painful, right? And they started injecting themselves and they became addicted. 2 girls. So I know that menstrual pain can be very painful. If you have menstrual pain as a girl, please visit the doctor. Don't use tramadol. Tramadol is a serious painkiller, but it's very addictive. And when someone becomes addicted, what did I say it is? It is a brain disease, it is a chronic disease, and it is a relapsing disease. Is that not what I mentioned? I said drug addiction is a chronic and relapsing brain disease. It's a chronic disease, just like cancer. It's a chronic disease like diabetics. It's a chronic disease like hypertension. So let's not try to start it at all. Once you are sick, please go to the doctor. Using tramadol for menstrual pain is very dangerous. Yeah, somebody is asking of secondary user that is there any law guiding a secondary user? No. Anywhere where they smoke igbo, what you supposed to do? Run. Not even stay near the place. Because apart from say they are your friends or you know them, if NDLA comes to that place to raid, they will raid you among. And if we test you, you become positive. So which story you want to talk? You go just dey explain. Wetin go happen? No evidence. You go just dey explain. No, we say we no gree. We have tested you and you are positive. So wherever you see that they are smoking igbo, abeg, japa, leave that place. And he also said smoking Colorado. He was mentioning different kind of drug, that if you use drug today, if you use paracetamol, if you use paracetamol today, you use tomorrow for no reason, is drug abuse. So if you use Colorado today, you don't smoke it again. Maybe after 2-3 weeks, you use it again. Is it drug abuse? Colorado itself is an illegal drug. So using it, one, you are possessing an illegal drug and you are abusing it also. Anything that is illegal is abused. So Colorado, not even touch am, I beg, my dear. Don't go near Colorado. What are the specific measures that NDLA is doing to stop drugs? One of them is the alternative development that I mentioned to you. One of them is drug sensitization that I'm talking to you. One of them is this testing, integrity testing that we are doing for university students. It is an NDLA policy now. We have what we call drug testing policies for NDLA. For any admission in Nigeria, we will test. You must have gotten your admission. You have your admission letter. But during the processing of your documentation, you will come to NDLA, we will do drug tests for you. You are the one to pay. Government no go pay. Now you go pay. So when you pay, we'll do the drug test for you and give you a certificate. But even if you are positive, that you will not lose your admission. It means that we should start counseling you immediately before the drug use becomes problematic. You understand? So when you hear drug test, it's not for punishment. It's to help the person, to stop him from becoming a problematic user or to become addicted. So stop him from becoming addicted. What can be done to stop someone from using drugs? For people who have started using drugs, treatment is the solution. Treatment, counseling are part of the solution. And also, if you have a friend that is using drugs, you cannot stop him. Whatever you people talk, the person may not be able to stop. What the person needs is professional help. Let the person go to any rehabilitation centers. We have rehabilitation centers. We have psychiatric hospital. When people hear psychiatric hospital, they will say, no, I'm not mad though. Or when you advise parents, please take your child for treatment in psychiatric. They say, no, it's not as serious now. It's not a mad person. No. When we mention psychiatrists, it has to do with the brain. Because remember the definition. We said it's a brain disease. So that's why we need the psychiatrist to treat the person. So that is one of the ways. Treatment, counseling. These are ways to help the person. Not be only church. Some people, when they are using drugs, their families will take them to church and they will start to pour holy water on them. It will not stop it. It will not stop it. Going to church is good. Praying for the person who is using drug or who is addicted to drug is good. But only that prayer will not work. You understand? The person should be taken for treatment while we are praying for him. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Somebody talks about celebrities. And this celebrity issue is always coming up. When they wanted to advertise Gulda, who was that man they used? No, now. Gulda now. Not be Two-Face. It was Two-Face that was used now to advertise Gulda. And they started, you know, you see, and we fine boy, fine face. He roll his shirt up. I was talking about Gulda. They're doing face like this. And a lot of young people can copy that and start using Gulda. And the manufacturers of this alcohol knows that to use celebrity, they will get more followers, they will get more customers. And after all, Two-Face, they use them now. Who was this boy? That prince that was in BB Ninja, Big Brother. It was used to advertise one alcohol also. I don't know, maybe in Onitsha. You know, a lot of people, and people will be following them. This is wrong. But if you want to show the people that alcohol has dealt with, who are you going to show? They will show that man that is staggering, the one that is falling into gutter. Those ones that are falling into gutters are the ones that those alcohol people should use, because those are their customers. Those ones that are falling inside gutters, that are staggering. Am I right? Those are the people that should be used to advertise beer, because now them be the real customers. You are using Two-Face. You are using this and that. It's not right. You are using all those people because you want young people to continue to use alcohol. Show us those people that are falling into gutters. Those are your customers. Use them to advertise. So celebrities sometimes can be using as role models, can be counterproductive. Following celebrities can be counterproductive. You will see them. Look at Olamide. If he's look at the last metaverse. He say, "Omaro pe ko lo ti mo gbe lo je ko ri mi ya were." Is that not what he said? Is that not it? Is that not? Omaro pe ko lo ti mo gbe lo je ko ri mi ya were. And I hate that song. I hate it. I say, see this man. CBD. You remember he mentioned CBD. I mean CBD. He's talking about cannabis. Why is this guy always promoting cannabis? And look at this one. Zinoliski. Did you see the lyrics? This song is not more than 3-4 days now. And I was looking at the lyrics. I love music very much, and I love to sing. And you now mention Mowe Igbola. And you people will be singing it with him. And immediately you continue to sing that thing, it will register in your brain. Because the brain is a good record. The guy is singing, Mowe Igbola. Owe Igbola, kí ló fẹ́ fi Igbola ṣe? Igbo kékeré pàápàá, is it not dangerous? So it's very touching. It's very touching. When Olamide, I love Olamide so much. I love his music. But he say, hi me, CBD. CBD. And he say, Koloto ungbelo jakori uyawere. So imagine somebody is talking that nonsense. It get as it be now. Yes, I don't see anywhere where they talk. They go bring paper. When they don't bring this paper, they say you should shut up. Oh, is it? I think you wanted me to say time don't go. Why did NDLA use Naira Marley? This question is always coming. Let me tell us, there is a misunderstanding. All of you know what in Naira Marley. You know, say na MBOC of Igbo. But Naira Marley came to NDLA for counseling. Yes, it's true. No, it's true. You will not agree. You will not agree. And it's so painful to NDLA. In fact, NDLA was trying to show Naira Marley as an example that, oh, see, Naira Marley has come for counseling. No, all other, yes. Naira Marley for counseling. He's trying to stop, but the whole world will not allow him. And this is, hello, let's listen. You see, for those people who are using drugs, environment is their problem. Even when they go for treatment and they are back, the whole environment will not allow them to heal. They will say, don't go near him. Show my kwama to mugbo yen ni. O ti kúrò ládùúgbò láti bí jọ́ mẹ́ta. Ó ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wọlé wá ni o. Ẹ yàgò fún o. because they knew him before as a smoker. He has been fighting in the area, but now he has gone for rehabilitation. He's treated. Instead of us to embrace him with two hands, we no go agree. We will still be stigmatizing and discriminating him. Now, Naira Marley has come to NDLA. NDLA just showing picture. The whole internet, the whole Nigeria went upside down. Can people change? No, people can change. You see, if you continue to have the mindset that bad people will not change, then bad people will not change. If you continue to have it that that man, that one you don't spoil, it can never be good, then the person will not be good. Naira Marley came to NDLA for counseling. He has come to register himself, and we were so happy. We were so proud to show him to the world. But before you say Jack Robinson, NDLA, the person where they smoke Igbo, and so if he smoke Igbo, can't he change? He can change. He's a human being. But you people did not allow him. Now he has started to, he's training people like Zenoliski, where they wear Igbo Nla. And the thing continues. He quickly ran away, say, NDLA, I'm sorry into this condition. Naira Marley apologized. I'm sorry, I'm the one that put you here. He withdraw and he continue his Igbo. You see the problem? Look, we should stop this labeling. We should stop this judgmental behavior. People can change. Even among our friends, among our colleagues, yeah, could change. But if the person say, I don't want to do this thing, nah, lie. No. When people say, I want to change, please help them. Help them to change. I know it's very difficult to believe, but that was what happened about Naira Marley. That question continued to pop up. So I'm not surprised that that question came. In those days, Baba Suwe time, remember that question? No, I answered that question for 5 years. I was tired. So now Naira Marley own. Okay. Okay. This person was talking about tramadol prescription. That tramadol is a prescription. So, is it illegal? So let me tell you, if tramadol is prescribed to you, it's a prescription drugs. Doctor can prescribe it to you if there is need. Then the doctor has given you a prescription of tramadol, and you went into the pharmacy. They say you should use one in the morning, one in the night for 3 days. And you collected your prescription, you bought it, and you used it for 3 days. And what is wrong with you went away. Do you have any business using it again? No. I have gone to hospital before, and they have prescribed tramadol to me. The first one I used, I couldn't use it again. I only used one tablet, that small capsule. It was just making me I couldn't even sleep. So I dropped it. I went to the doctor. This medication is not good for me. And they changed it. So our problem is that when we went to the doctor and prescription is made and we bought the drugs, if it's not good for us, we will not go back. Another person will say, go and buy this. Well, we will now have a lot of quack doctors around us that will be prescribing nonsense. And that's why people fall into drug abuse. The same thing with cough syrup. The prescription drugs, it can be used if prescribed by doctors, and it can only be sold if there is a prescription. If there is no prescription and a pharmacy is selling tramadol or cough syrup with codeine, then the person is selling something illegal, and NDLA can arrest such person. I'm coming. I think the same thing with this. The person is talking about paracetamol and overdose of paracetamol. Any drugs can be overdosed, can be used excessively, not only paracetamol. You understand? Overdose and overuse of drug is illegal. It's even dangerous to our health. Once they said use one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the night, and you are not seeing the result, go back to the doctor. I was just quarreling with my elder sister. My elder sister went to the hospital last week, and the doctor said he was going to do a minor surgery for her. A surgery that will cost 8,500. You should know it's very minor. Maybe it's just he said it's something around there. What if that's the way they do them here? And she said, okay. Then I say, okay, but it has not yet grown. Go home, medication for you. Come back on the 3rd. My sister did not They now wrote medication. Is she not supposed to buy the medication? She came home. She didn't go and buy that medication. She now called one nurse. She's telling me today that one nurse is coming to give her drip. I said, which drip again? You have gone to the hospital. They have given you medication. They said that medication, they said they don't have it in the hospital. Can't you buy? You have money. He said, no, I should not worry. That nurse is coming to give her drip. For what? You see, this is the mistake we all make every time when it comes to our health. We should not take our health for granted, though. This life that we have is just what? It's one. Then, the first question here, she was talking about a colleague or a friend of hers that are using drug and it is difficult to stop. They try all possible best, but the person cannot stop. That is true. And that anytime that person wants to stop the drug use, the person will be experiencing some kind of displeasure, discomfort, and pain. What do we call that displeasure? What do we call it? Withdrawal. It's a withdrawal symptom. All those shaking. You will be shaking. You will be having cold. You will be having headache. You will be having running stomach. You will be stooling at the same time. That is the discomfort. Immediately that discomfort sets in, the person is in total addiction. That discomfort is called withdrawal symptoms. But if the person can go to the hospital, and it takes a long time for withdrawal symptoms to go. So the only thing that person needs, like I mentioned earlier, is to go to the hospital. The people who know how to treat withdrawal symptoms are the psychiatric doctors. Once the person have gotten to that level, I think this biscuit is distracting. Leave the biscuit alone. Leave it alone. It's sharing. So once the withdrawal have set in, then there is a problem. The person is sick. Remember I said it's a disease. Addiction is a disease. So that person who is using drug and cannot stop on his own is sick. Don't look at him. You see? So please, I think that's all the ones I've written down. You people keep sending. How can supplement become an abuse? How can supplement become an abuse? Well, food supplement. A lot of people take food supplement. I don't think, except if the person, every medication in this world have its prescription. Is that not so? Maybe like vitamin C supplement. It's a one a day. If you take 2, take 3, then it's an abuse. All medication have its own prescription. Follow the prescription. Once you are not following the don't bring question again. You don't do. So once you are not following the prescription, then it's an abuse. What is the? Read this for me. The handwriting is so small. What's that? Okay, so what is the punishment for NDLA officers that are using hard drugs? I like that question, no. What is the punishment for NDLA officers that are using hard drugs? Let me tell you something. To abuse drug is everybody's business. Like I told you that time in the beginning. Remember I told you that anybody can abuse drug, right? Abuse of drugs does not respect age, does not respect your status, whether you are a politician, whether you are a lecturer, whether you are a market woman, whether you are a banker, whether you are an officer. Because when people start to use drugs, their intention is not to abuse it. People have different reasons to start to use drugs. But for NDLA, we have what we call the NDLEA Act. What did I say it is? NDLEA Act. That act is the act that established NDLA. And that act says that for any NDLA officers recruited into NDLA cannot be found using drugs. Just like we are doing this integrity test for people, the same thing we'll do integrity test for anyone that wants to enter NDLA. So if somebody is a user, the person cannot be NDLA, cannot even be recruited. That's number one. Okay, if along the line, remember I said there are various reasons. We didn't treat those reasons. People may start to use drugs because they are sick and they'll become addicted to it and they will not be able to stop. So if an NDLA officer is using drugs and he is caught using drugs, we have an act, we have a rule, we have a law that says the person should be withdrawn from the service. First of all, NDLA will remove all our uniform from him and we will dismiss him. That is if he's a user. But if he's a dealer, in case somebody is an NDLA officer and is selling drugs, NDLA will strip him of all the uniform and the rank, one, and we will prosecute him and send him to court and he will be jailed. So for NDLA officers, if you are found wanting, then there is a problem. But even before anyone enters into NDLA, there is the integrity test. Then another question. Why isn't any legal action taken against the celebrities who use drugs? Let me explain the use of drugs for you. The use of drug is different from the trafficking of drugs. Remember, please remember, there are different reasons people go into drug use. We have 1,001 reasons. It may be because of peer pressure. It may be because of family problem. It may be because of sickness. It may be because of environment. It may be because of parental problem. It may be because of lack of job. It may be a lot of reasons. It is a trap. Drug abuse, anytime anybody falls into it, the person has fallen into a trap. And it is our duty to remove that person from that trap. Remember I said that survey says how many people are using drugs in Nigeria? 14.3 million people. We are going to gather those 14.3 million people and send them to jail. Is it possible? We are looking for how we are going to treat them. How will we treat them and make them so that, number one, they should not infect another person. Because if I'm a drug user, I can make her to start using drug, right? So number one, we should prevent me from making her to use drug, and we should treat me so that I will not die of this drug addiction that I have entered. So that's why you see NDLA is using some of these people so that they will be passing good messages. But the first one where we want to do, everybody they shout, NDLA don't make Naira Marley where they smoke Igbo ambassador, yeah. How can we support officials that are using hard drugs? Anyone that is using hard drug, if it's NDLA will dismiss the person. There is no supporting. Then the person will go home and treat himself. If he gets better, he will look for another job. But if I'm running after people who are selling drugs, then I should not be using. But I'm just trying to let you in them. One house, please. One house. You ask the question, let me answer it. Please. You ask the question, let me answer. We don't just burst into people's houses. It could be very annoying sometimes because maybe you are a neighbor and then NDLA is operating in this house. Generally in Nigeria, we don't like uniform people. You understand? Even me don't like uniform people and they wear uniform. Like when you are going at the airport and they are patting you like this, it's so irritating. But they have to do their job. Whenever you see anyone wearing uniform, you know you student now, and I go to shout, how many student police go kill? I will not be so now they talk. And I go to shout. I know that we don't like uniform people because most uniform people are corrupt. Once you see any uniform person, you say they won't collect money be that. You understand? But it's not so. Jobs. Now, in this area now, for example, this is a street. And in this house, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flats, for example. And in one of the flats, somebody is dealing in cannabis or cocaine or is brewing squishes. And the neighbors know. The person will just quietly comes to NDLA. House number so and so. He can even make a call. So and so person is dealing in drugs there. And every evening on Tuesday evening, that's where they come to dispatch. You see a lot of people coming into the house to collect. They are coming to collect parcel of drugs. This is an information that was sent to us, right? What do we do as NDLA? We will not start rushing to that place. Number one, it can be a trap. Number two, it can be a neighbor fighting his neighbor and trying to put the neighbor into trouble. So NDLA will now start doing surveillance. We will send people to play. That person may say, I'm living in that house. come and visit me like my brother. If you are living in a house where there are blocks of flats, you cannot stop the other man from having visitors, right? The person will receive his visitor, and from his window he will be seeing the other flat. Sure, you dey see them. You see as they are coming. Do you see that bag they are holding? Do you know it's drug? Do you know it's this? Do you know it's that? We will not do anything that day. We will leave them. Every Tuesday, this is how they come. We will set a trap for them. Next Tuesday, NDLA will come. Because we would have gone there for like 2-3 Tuesdays. And we'll see that this activities is constant. NDLA will burst. That time that all of them goes in, we just burst into that flat, carry everybody that is there. If we are lucky, you will find a lot of exhibits. And they'll say, what's wrong with this NDLA? They're entering this man. And one good thing about those kind of people is that they are the best members of the community. That man that is selling that thing, that everybody that is selling that drug is a good man. If they say they won't cut light, he will give NEPA money, don't cut our light. If they say the borehole don't block, he will bring money, let them repair it. If they say a transformer don't break, he will bring half of the money. Everybody will now see him as what? A good man. So when you come to carry such persons, the whole community will now start to sympathize. You are removing our benefactor. But the man is into what we call criminal enterprise. What did I say he's doing? Criminal enterprise. It's into criminal enterprise. And those ones that are in criminal enterprise, into criminal enterprise, are the best members within their communities. If anybody has problem in that community, is a savior. But he's the one spoiling their children and they don't know. And some of them knows, but because of what they would collect, they keep quiet. So NDLA don't just burst into people's houses. It is not in our character. Please clap. So, once again, this drug testing is very good. We have finished question, no? What do you want to ask?
We should talk about the one that is natural here, which you say it is called Igbo. We should talk about the one you said is natural here, which is called Igbo. Now, if a debate is made, can NDLA support making room for Igbo for leaving the one producing chemically, leaving it alone? Or is there a way for NDLA to regulate the use of Igbo, leaving the one produced by hard drug?
Canada, Holland, some countries have legalized the use of marijuana. But let me tell you, there is no legalization with legislation. What did I say? There is no legalization of hard drugs without legislation. One, that cannabis in those countries have been legalized. They have removed all the dangerous chemicals. Number two, they cannot sell it to anyone below 18 years. Number three, those countries have regulated security number. Even ordinary NIN, to get them for Nigeria na wahala. But any child that is born abroad have his number. So if in my country, in Canada for example, they have cannabis shops and you want to buy cannabis, you go there with your security number, you buy. You cannot buy more than a particular quantity. You cannot go again to another place and buy because it's already in the computer. Anything I do here in University of Ilorin, I don't do and be that. Nobody knows it in Oshogbo. Is that right? So there are reasons why Nigeria cannot legalize cannabis. Then I remember Omoyele Sowore during his campaign, his presidential campaign, he said he's going to legalize cannabis in Nigeria, and all young people are praising him. That in Ondo, he has even collaborated with the governor of Ondo and blah blah blah. They will be. That is nonsense. Cannabis is dangerous. Cannabis have almost 500 chemicals, and they are all very dangerous. But cannabis can be used to treat different kind of ailments. That is when they take it to the lab and they extract those ones that are beneficial to human ailment, human healing. That's when it is possible. But you just pick up Indian hemp, you roll it and you start smoking. You are smoking the good. The test anytime from now. We'll start the test. It's voluntary. Nobody is forcing you, but it will be wonderful if someone can be part of it. So thank you.
Is that all we can do for her? Let's appreciate her.
Please, before we start the test, I would love it that we have pictures. It's very important. I love all these scholars and all members of the table. We will all take pictures, you know, with our banners. It will be so, and this will be recorded for the organizers of this program and also for us. Is that so? Yes.
Thank you very much. Ajia, please, ma, maybe before you go up, just come so that we just do the presentation once and for all. The district chair, members of the high table, please kindly join us for this presentation. My LOC chair, are you close by? Rotary Olagunju. Okay, he's not. Right. Okay. Ajia, yes, please, ma.
Can you push this away so that
I feel like okay. Camera.
you climb up?
Sorry, ma. No.
Man will know how to handle it.
Sorry, sir. He's upstairs. Thank you, sir.
Come now.
Ryla Swio. Please, two rows. The first 2 rows, move forward.
Some can stay here.
Thank you very much. Please, let's be seated. Remember, the test is voluntary. So, if you are interested, please, I'd like to invite the chairman, president, past president, Rotary Club of Ilorin, in person of Rotarian Chief Olayiwola Shogunle Shobaba. Please come and appreciate NDLEA for us. Let's appreciate him. He's one of our fathers in Kwara Rotary.
Ryla Chair, Zonal Coordinator, League of Presidents, District Officers, the Sudan Rotary here present. On behalf of the District Governor, the Ryla Chair, and all the members of the organizing committee of this program, we would like to sincerely appreciate the Commander, NDLA Kwara State, for the wonderful performance she has put up today. Madam, you have shown that you are indeed a great teacher, a great motivation speaker too for our youth here, and a great role model for all of us to copy. We thank you so much for doing justice to the topic. We wish you journey mercy when you go back to your office, and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you so much for coming, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's appreciate him. I just told you he's one of our fathers in Kwara Rotary. Thank you very much. The next on the agenda, we're going to skip the remark by the LOC chair, the remark by the DRR, and we move on to training on personal hygiene by Dr. Muhammad Oyeniyi Rashid from the Ministry of Health. He's the Infection Prevention Control Program Manager, Kwara State Ministry of Health. Please, let's appreciate Dr. Rashid Oyeniyi. Let's keep clapping. Clap. Thank you very much, Dr. Sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Ryla, Yes. Please, can you project my slide? Can you project it? It's on your system. And I'll be talking to you about personal hygiene. Eh? No, this is it not here? Where is the slide? It was given to him. Okay, okay. Let me have my laptop there. Hmm? Okay, you have it. Okay. So, hello. Can anybody, any one of us, talk about what do I mean by personal hygiene? Let me follow the footsteps of the commander. Hello? What do we mean by personal hygiene? The hygiene that is personal, is it? Hello? Are we together? The hygiene that is personal. No, that's not enough. What is personal hygiene? Who can try? Thank you. Let's have it.
Personal hygiene are the set of practices taken by oneself to take care of the body.
Okay. Yes, that's a good try. Yes, personal hygiene has to do with things that you do on your body to prevent any form of germs from entering your body and thereby preventing disease and infection on you. So I'll be talking to you looking at this outline. We first define what personal hygiene is, then the importance of personal hygiene, talking about hand washing, then the care of your genitals, and dental care. You see, these are routes where we can get disease that will enter our body and cause infection for us. So, next one. Yes, personal hygiene is about keeping your body clean. It also helps us to prevent causing illness to get into our body. Now, washing your hand is one of the very key ways to prevent disease from entering your hand. You see, these are our hands. About up to 70 or 80% of disease-causing ailment get into our body through our hands. I'm very sure all of us will still remember the time of COVID-19 pandemic, where we are told to cover our nose, we're told to wash our hand every time, isn't it? You see, even as a doctor, those days, we don't know how COVID-19 was being transmitted, isn't it? And we felt the only way we can prevent it is by washing our hand and covering our nose, so that those aerosols from COVID-19 will not enter our nostrils and will not cause spread of disease. And you agree with me that as soon as we start doing that, COVID-19 was able to control. We are able to control COVID-19 pandemic during that time. So, and that's why you see, if you are entering any premises, you will be mandated to wear your nose mask and wash your hand with soap and water. Hello? Madam, you are still distracting us. I don't know how we are going to do it. Okay, let's continue. Next slide, please. So, personal hygiene. This includes cleaning your body every day. That is, you are expected, at least men, you are expected to wash your body every day. Wash your hand with soap and water whenever you go to the toilet. I want to make this thing as simple as possible. Brush your teeth and, of course, use dental floss occasionally when you do that. How many of us really know how to brush our teeth? You know, there are technical ways for you to brush your teeth. Some will just use their toothpaste and rub on the teeth like that. Whereas you need to brush up and down. In fact, you need to brush your teeth nothing less than twice a day. That is in the morning and when you're going to bed, or after every meal. That's the only way, because food particle will always be present in your mouth after eating. And it is even expected that after eating, you expect to wash your mouth, even with gargle, water gargle, so that your mouth will be free of those food particles. You will still agree with me that when you eat, when you brush your teeth after eating and you go to bed, your mouth is almost clear of dirt, isn't it? But if you didn't wash your mouth before sleeping and you woke up with your foul smelling odor coming from your mouth, so that's why it's good for you to wash your mouth twice or 3 times a day. Covering your mouth and nose with tissue paper when sneezing. You see, there are things that we call cough etiquette. We call it cough etiquette, and this is more pronounced during COVID-19. A lot of people don't do it. When you want to cough or you sneeze during COVID-19, a lot of people will just run away from you. They say, you've contracted COVID, as if you have COVID, isn't it? But what are the normal thing that we all need to do when we cough is either we use tissue paper, cough and drop those tissue paper in the dustbin, or you cough into elbow where there is no tissue paper. Again, you are not expected to cough into. Do you know why we are not expected to cough into your palm like this? Because if you do that, you will not know when you are going to shake hand with another person, and you might transmit some of those disease-causing germs into another person's hand. Again, you can use your hand to rub those tables. Again, something you can pick germs from these tables like this. You will not know when it is transmitted into your nose or your eye, and this will cause disease. So again, you need to wash your hand after touching anything, even your table or pets in your house. Some people have pets that they play with in the house, so you're expected to wash your hand whenever you touch those pets. Next slide, please. So why is personal hygiene good? Why do we need to have personal hygiene? This is important to stop us from getting sick, just as I've mentioned in terms of COVID. And if somebody have a flu around you, and you happen to shake hand, we all have experienced this one time or the other. You know what I mean by flu? Catarrh, common cold, isn't it? And you happen to touch such a person, or you are too close to him or her, you are expected to use either nose mask or he use nose mask, so that that aerosol that he's bringing out will not get into you, isn't it? So again, the germs that may cause disease, you can get it from other people, or some contaminated formites, that is your table and your chairs. You can actually get in touch with it. You know, getting contact with poo, like now if somebody, now that we are even having outbreak of cholera in the country, you know, some states are having outbreak of cholera. So, and what cholera simply is telling us is that the moment you come in, you are contacted with cholera, you are affected you are infected with cholera bacilli. Is telling you that you come in contact with another person's poo. That person has chopped shit one way or the other, because you can only contact it by eating another person's poo. So to prevent this, you need to wash and have a very good personal hygiene. Coming in contact with dirty surfaces or objects, all these are reasons why we don't want you to you need to have a very good personal hygiene, of course, every day. Next one. So again, continue with that. You need to prevent a lot of infectious disease through contaminated food. Like as I mentioned earlier, that outbreak of cholera that we are having is because some of this food that we eat actually gets contaminated with fecal matter from another infected person, or from drinking water that is infected with Vibrio cholera, that is the organism causing cholera. So it's only through good personal hygiene and taking water that is not affected by this organism that can make us to be free from this. So next one, please. So what are the conditions that you can go back? What are the conditions that can develop if you have a poor personal hygiene? That is, I've mentioned that COVID-19, you can get COVID-19 through that. You can get diarrhea, gastroenteritis, respiratory illness can be gotten from that. Scabies, you can get scabies by getting infected with some of those germs that are in our surfaces. Staph infection, tooth decay. Of course, if you don't wash your mouth very well and you're not using right agents to wash your mouth, you can actually, your tooth can have tooth decay. Again, trachoma. Of course, if you have a dirty environment where you use, you come in contact with organisms that cause trachoma and use it to touch your eye, you can actually get what disease that we call trachoma affecting your eye. So, personal hygiene actually do a lot of things by keeping our body safe, and we don't come in contact with some of these germs. Next slide, please. Why should I need to wash my hand? I've mentioned that, and I've talked extensively on that. You need to wash your hands so that you prevent transmission of those germs into any part of your body that can make you to fall sick. Next one. So I want to talk about next one, please. Next one again. You see all this your hands now. You know, you will not know involuntarily when you might be touching your mouth with it, your nose, your eyes. You're removing your hand. Yes, so that is why your hand needs to be very clean. Because if you shake somebody now and the person is having flu, unknowingly to you, you can use the same hand to touch your nose or your eye, and behold, you are going to come down with the same flu that person is coming down with. So the moment you shake somebody or you touch any unwanted surfaces, you are expected to actually wash your hand appropriately. Next one. Next one. Yes, how can you make your hand to be clean? One, by using running water. And if you are going to wash your hand for about 20 minutes under running water, that's what is expected. There are specific ways that you are expected to wash your hand. Make sure you have your hand go into the two fingers getting clogged like this. What the dorsum of your hand. After that, at the palm of your hand, you rub again. The nails like this need to be clean. Rub it on each other. That's about 10 steps for you to wash your hand, for it to be clean. If you don't have access to running water, you can use hand sanitizer. The hand sanitizer are usually between 60 to 70% alcohol based. Those ones you can use it, especially when your hand is not soiled. What do I mean by when your hand is not soiled? That is, your hand you are sure doesn't have any particle, but you maybe touch one thing that you don't know and there's no water, so you can use hand sanitizer to rub. But if your hand is soiled, that is, you go to the toilet, you need to actually wash your hand with running water, not hand sanitizer. But as we are now in this hall, you are coming into this hall, you need to rub hand sanitizer, to use hand sanitizer to rub your hand. And if you are going out before you get to your house, hand sanitizer is very good for you to rub it on your hand. And this thing should be done for about 20 minutes. It's not that you just rub it and you start using it. You know, and again, rub it again away from fire. You need a form of inflammable object, you need to move away from it. Because you know that alcohol is highly inflammable. So we don't want you to get yourself burned. Next one, my brother. Then you need to wash your body every day. That is, taking your bath every day, at least once or twice every day. And every part of your body need to either use soap and water. Again, this is to remove some bacteria on you. As we move about, we sweat, isn't it? As we sweat, some of the bacteria gets deposited. Again, we come across a lot of fumes. This thing will cause grow on our body, and there are bacteria on our body. So we need to actually wash this body. This oily deposit, of course, you know it will stain your clothes as you go about your daily life. So we need to wash our body with soap and water. Again, very importantly, This is very important, especially for our female folks. You need, if you are going to clean yourself during, you know, there are times that, okay, when we get to that place, we discuss more about it. Next slide, please. Next one. Yes, washing of your genitals. For males, you know, in this part of the world, the circumcision that is done for male, isn't it? So most of the time, we are less bothered. You need to wear, if you are using boxers, you need to change your boxers every day. There's no reason for you to use a boxer for more than 24 hours. Again, you are expected not to use nylon boxers because it's actually injurious to you, the male. And your boxers should not be very tight. It should be very loose butter, and it should be cotton base and not nylon base. Why? Because our genitals are not supportive of that, because the semen production in our genitals will not support that, and it's injurious to men to use very tight boxers or nylon boxers, because the temperature of that place is actually low. For optimal performance of your genitals, you need very low temperature compared to your body temperature. Now for the female folks, again, let me still talk about the male folks. You know, there is a foreskin in our phallus. Those foreskin are being cut. So in this society, we are not bothered with that. It's only when you are treating some children that are yet to have circumcision done that you may need to bring down the the foreskin to clean the inside for them. This is very important so that the dirt from those underneath the skin will not affect them. But the female folks, you are expected not to use very toxic chemicals to wash your private part. You are not expected to use any soap, medicated soap for your private part. You wash very water and very toilet soap that is not injurious, so that you will not harm yourself. If you use those medicated soap to clean yourself, there are bacteria in every woman's private part that is actually beneficial for them. So when those bacteria are destroyed, it causes more trouble. And that's why you see, most of the time, a lady will wash her private part today. Tomorrow, you will find a lot of whitish thing coming out. Most of the time, sometimes we are the one causing this problem for ourselves. There are bacteria that God has naturally made to live inside that place. And those bacteria are very protective. Am I communicating? Those bacteria are very protective. So you are not expected to use medicated soap to wash your private part. Use just normal toilet soap when necessary. In fact, most of the time, use water. Again, you are not expected to dip your hand inside the vulva, inside the vagina. Just wash the surface, and that is all. Because when you do that and you are douching, what we call, most female calls douching, this one will definitely cause fungi more to grow in those areas, and that means you've destroyed the normal natural flora that God has created there. Am I communicating? You have time to ask questions. So please, you are expected to just, and again, women are expected to change their underwear at least twice a day when they are not menstruating. If it's during menstruation, which you are still going to see, you are expected to change it at least 3 times, especially for those who have heavy flow. Then we are still going to we're going to be talking about use of a sanitary pad. The sanitary pad that it's not until when your sanitary pad became too wet that you change it. Whether wet or not, at least twice you must change your sanitary pad in a day. Again, when you are disposing that sanitary pad, it is very necessary that they are well disposed. You are not expected to flush it inside toilet. You are expected to ensure that it is well packed, pack it and put it with dustbin where it is well disposed. After doing this, you are expected to wash your hand with soap and water, not hand sanitizer this time. Am I making sense? So a situation where you are in during your period, you are not you don't have resources to buy sanitary pad, especially during this economic time. Even though we don't always want it, but sometimes you can actually use this our normal cloth thing that we call tampon, isn't it? You buy a brand new cloth, not dirty cloth that you use as old. Are you getting what I'm saying? Cut it into size and you use them maybe 3 or 4. By the time you use one finish, if you are going to reuse it next month, you ensure that you wash it, iron it. Hello? I said iron it and ensure that it is well kept in a very good environment before you use it. So the idea that I cannot use clothes, no, it is permissible, but provided you are going to keep them very safe. You buy a brand new white cloth and you use it repeatedly for a few months, you change that again. Ensure that you you iron it. Again, I used to tell my female folks that if you are having so-called toilet disease, as the case may be, most of the time, hygiene is what is deficient in it. It might not even be any infection. So the moment you have some underwears that you need to change them. Again, when you wash your underwear, ensure it is sun dry. Hello? I mean sun dry, that is, you try it in the sun. Yes, there are challenges nowadays that you don't want to spread your undies where everybody will see it. If you can't do that, there is nothing stopping you from using, after it has dried up, use your pressing iron to iron it and ensure that it is well kept in a safe environment. So again, I think that's okay. That's talking about our menstrual hygiene. So you can use that. Next one, please. Then talking about our feet, which I've talked, prevent bad odor. Again, it's sometimes you see some when they don't speak with you. It's not that he didn't brush in the morning, but how did they brush? How did they apply that brush? Some will just go like this, choo. No, that will not be enough because some food particles will actually stay in between your feet. And when they do that, that is when bacteria now come in and attack them. And that's what we say most of the time as odor that will come from people when they are talking with you. And you now see your friend close by you and he will just be covering his mouth because it's not that you are not neat, but the way you wash your mouth is very important. So if you do that and you wash it up and down, and that's what the our secondary, is it primary school, used to teach us that we need to brush our teeth up and down, and it will be very good if you wash it twice. If you wash it after every meal, it's even better. You understand? That's what can prevent some of these bad odors that we and bad breath. Of course, it will prevent tooth decay, as the case may be. Again, there is need for dental floss. You know, do we know dental floss? That is when you see some of a plastic stick like that, you can use to remove some of those food particles that stay in between your teeth, especially for some of us that we have gap teeth. So if all these things are not removed, definitely you still have bad breath. So if you use dental floss, these dental floss are safer than this so-called toothpick. So-called toothpick that you see around everywhere is very discouraging because it will increase those gaps in your teeth and it will be very, very discomforting for you. Next one, please. So I think that ends what I need to discuss with you presently. If you have any question, please, let's quickly get them.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's appreciate him. Do we have any question? Do we have any question? Harmony, any question? Spring, any question? Okay, come out. Peseta, any question? ATM, any question? If you have questions, please come out. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful class, sir. Uh, During your presentation, you talk about bad breath, which is also called halitosis, sir. I want to ask, is there a solution, like a lasting solution for halitosis? Thank you very much.
Do you have a question, please?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. My question is quite simple. You were talking about the vulvar care, and you were actually trying to mention that we can use some soap, but not some soap in particular. I don't know if you can actually try and help us list the soap that can be used for the vulvar care, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Talking about halitosis. Halitosis might not just be ordinary bad breath. You know, I mentioned the other time that bad breath may actually come from the food that you eat overnight. And some of them happen to have stayed between your teeth. That is not, that because of the bacterial action on them, it's what will make them to start smelling from your mouth. But halitosis sometimes can actually be caused by disease affecting your lower organ in the in our system. So again, dental caries, any disease affecting your teeth can actually cause bad breath. What are those things that you need to do? I told you earlier that you can start using using toothpaste that you wash your mouth twice a day. Again, you can change it to after every meal. This will ultimately reduce. And again, you are expected to visit dentists at least once or 3 times in a year for normal dental cleaning, which they do it very well for us. So if you visit dentists, they will still look at it and say, is it the one coming from just the care of your oral care, or the one caused by a disease or infection in your mouth? Yes, using soap. I said normal toilet soap. I don't want to mention a particular soap because it will look at it I'm advertising for them. For example, if you look Lux, it's just normal toilet soap that you use in bathing. But if you want to use something like Tura soap to wash your private part, it's discouraging. That's why I'm saying medicated soap is not allowed. Just normal soap. If it's possible for you, just use ordinary water. It's enough most of the time to wash your private part. Does that make sense? Okay.
All right, come forward.
Thank you very much, sir. Teeth whitening. Do you recommend teeth whitening as a part of personal hygiene, or is teeth whitening just a social, social influence on most of us, or is teeth whitening really necessary?
Thank you very much. Teeth whitening, as you said, is also a social thing. There are some people that has different kind of color for their dentation. Again, smokers, sometimes it affects the color of their teeth. You know, we have different kind of smokers. It's not only those ones. There are some that put tobacco in their mouth. It will change the color of your teeth. Again, there are some natural toothpaste now that give you some whitening. It's social, anything you want to do concerning it, but it has nothing to do with hygiene, because your teeth can be brown. Even naturally, there are some people that have brown teeth. It's looking, the point is cleaning it very. You might not have anything with your oral hygiene. Thank you.
Let's appreciate him. Harmony. Clap.
Thank you, sir. Based on the questions one of the lady asked, I want to ask about, you know, we have this feminine wash that the ladies used to use. Is it hygienic to use this feminine wash to wash our genitals part?
The last question.
Thank you, sir. My question is two. The number one question is, we used to have some people that would tell you that they can't use deodorant, but their armpit is nothing to write home about. How can you recommend, like, okay, a natural thing that they can do to stop that their armpit from smelling? And is using deodorant, is it harmful or is it good?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Feminine wash. You see, you said a lot of trouble come with wealth. Hello? The more you are rich, the richer you are, the more problem you have. For example, most of us using feminine wash. What were you using before you became adult? Was your vulva smelling that time? Are you having any problem with it? I don't have problem with feminine wash. But sometimes we create more trouble by using some of those synthetic things. The commander has talked about some of those synthetic things that we are using. Some of these, actually the product of, we don't even know what they are made of. And we want to use it just because. I'm not saying you cannot use it. But when you look at it, were you having any problem before you start using feminine wash? The answer is most of the time, there was no problem. So why are you creating one? Use hair remover, fine. After using hair remover, you don't have any issue. So what is feminine wash for? If you have any form of discharge and you go to the hospital, they will explain to you. Again, talking about vulvar hygiene. You see, for a female, if you go to a toilet, I didn't mention that. You need to, if you want to rinse yourself, you will need to first be trained to wash the frontal to wash the frontal separately from the back. That is, you go to the toilet, you poo. After your poo, you wash your frontal part and wash your hand. After you go to the back and clean the back separately. Most of the time, some female wash them together. And you end up transferring the fecal matter from the back to the front. And that's what will cause the problem. Again, some of us, we wear relatively wet pants. Some of us, we have a lot of undies that we use for a long time and we gather them. So when we have some, I'm looking for one particular pant, you now go and pick that one that stayed long in your house and develop carry some germs on its own and put it on yourself. Definitely it will cause infection for you. Isn't it? We are saying that area is well guided. My own advice for you, if you can use water, if you have any infection, please move to the hospital. Let the gynecologist see you and attend to you very well. Stop listening to somebody, use this, no, that's one will cause problem. Feminine wash, the more you get richer, you change those feminine wash and there are a lot of incidents of cancer now of the vulva everywhere that we hardly see before. This area is very soft and delicate. So we are it away as much as possible. Deodorant, you see, deodorant, if you have body odor or you have a lot of water coming from your armpit, one of the very good things that I know most females do is to ensure that there is no air in their armpit, isn't it? It reduces those perspiration that we have coming from that place. Deodorant may not have any issue with, because you are not, sometimes you even expect to put it on your clothes because some of these are still chemical. They are liable to cause one trouble or the other. There's nothing bad about deodorant, but you can keep those odor away from you. There are some skin infection that we actually don't pay attention to. Some female have what we call eczema. Eczema smells. So ensure that those things are taken care of. Then you don't need, I'm not saying don't use deodorant. Get me right. You can use deodorant. Again, rubbing it on your skin can be problematic because it's chemical constituent. And skin cancer nowadays. So if it's on your cloth, fine. It's safe. You are going to remove that cloth. But deodorant is just to remove the odor, isn't it? But when you bath 3 times, the odor may not even stay. Even those people that have real eczema on their body, by the time they bath 3 times, it will not smell. So, but some skin disease actually cause your body to smell. And if you don't find them out, you'll still be having trouble concealing it with deodorant. You can actually use deodorant. I'm not against it, and there's no rule that says don't use it. But what is the genesis of those your so-called body odor? You must find out. It might be some skin disease that you are having. It might be because your hair in the armpit is not well washed or is over bushy. But most female they clean that place, and once you are clean it again, it reduces the rate at which you sweat on it. And we are expected to wash our body twice a day. If you are doing that, very likely you will not smell. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's appreciate him. My LOC chair, sir. Doctor, please kindly do us the favor honor of, show, sir.
Hello, sir.
ATM. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Well, it's been a wonderful day today, and I want to also, in our little way, appreciate our doctor for the discussion we've just had. And essentially, what he has been telling us is we should try and cure the cause and not doing palliative. We like palliative in this country. If there's a reason, there must be a reason for a smell, for a bad odor, and the rest of it. So let us go to see the doctor to ensure that they are able to dig into the root and then give us the right cure to it, and not something that will just keep it at bay and then come back later. So on this note, we want to sincerely Dr. Mohammed Oyeni Rashid for this presentation, and I would like to call on our house owner, Alaba Quadri, ATM, to do us the honor to do the presentation. Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate him.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the organizing committee of this program and the entire participants here present, I have the honor to present this to you. Rotary District 9126 present to Dr. Mohammed Oyeni Rashid embodies the fourth way test of what we think, say, or do. I know that if you apply this in your life and what you do in the office, you become more better than this, and by the special grace of God, you become a professor very soon. This is being signed by Rotary Kaode Sharafaddin Olowolagba Esquire, the district governor of our district, year 2024-2025 Rotary year. Congratulations, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's appreciate them. While the drug test is still going on, I would like to call my LOC chair for his remarks.
It's time now. No, it's their food out there. The food is already set. They'll just take and come back.
Okay.
Ryla, we. The landlord is talking there. All right. I hope the morale is not low. It's low. Why is it low? We are hungry. Don't worry, you eat now. All right. My district governor in absentia, Ryla, also in absentia, they had to go do one or two things. Our own dear Governor Shogunle showed the show. Distinguished Rotarians in the house, the NDLEA, my Rylarians, I want to believe you've had a very wonderful time so far today. We are just beginning. You'll be seeing much more of good things coming up. Sorry, more things are coming up, so please just continue to see how it's unfolds. So I want to thank all of you for the cooperation so far. I want to also let you know that the situation in the hostel by the day will be getting improved. All right, the first day was the way it was because of how it started. I'm sure your breakfast today